Hello everyone, this is Walking Korea. Today, we will take a walk together in Bukchon Hanok Village, one of the most traditional alleyways in Seoul. As we walk, we will talk about history, hanoks, and local eateries. Have you heard of the name Bukchon? During the Joseon dynasty, it was called Bukchon because it is a village located to the north of Gwanghwamun and Changdeokgung Palace, which were the center of Hanyang. This area has historically been a wealthy neighborhood where royalty, noble, and high-ranking officials live. Even now, if you go into the alleys, you will find traditional houses that are over 100 years old lined up. It feels like we are on a time travel. Bukchon broadly includes the areas of Gahoe-dong, Jaedong, Jaedong, and Samcheong-dong. From the late Joseon period to modern times, it has developed as the most central residential area in Seoul. In particular, the period when many hanoks, or traditional wooden houses, were built was in the 1920s and 1930s. During this time, Bukchon became a symbolic place of efforts to preserve our unique architectural style, even under Japanese colonial rule. Hanoks are art in themselves. The hanoks in Bukchon are oriented to the south to receive plenty of sunlight and are structured around a courtyard in G or M shapes. The design allows the wind to pass under the eaves, keeping it cool in the summer and warm in the winter. The wisdom of people at that time, who sought to live in harmony with nature, is fully captured here. After liberation, during the Korean War, and amid rapid urbanization, many hanoks were demolished, and there were crises where they were replaced by apartments or commercial buildings. Fortunately, in the early 2000s, thanks to the efforts of the Seoul city government and local residents, Bukchon was designated as a Hanok Preservation District, and gradually began to regain its value. Today, Bukchon has become a space where historical and cultural heritage is alive and breathing, beyond just a simple residential area. Interestingly, Bukchon is not just a preserved traditional space, it is a neighborhood where people still actually live. So, when walking in Bukchon, it is important to be quiet and observe the etiquette of the alleyways. Inside the hanok window that you casually peek into, there is someone's daily life, and the smell of rice cooking is still wafting over from beyond the wall. There is also a beautiful viewpoint here known as the 8 Scenic Views of Bukchon. For example, from Gahoe-dong 31 Hill Road, you can see Namsan Tower at a glance over the rooftops of the hanok. In places like Samcheong-dong Stone Steps or the alley behind Jaedong Elementary School, you can feel the traces of time and the charming scenery. These days, there are many cafes, workshops, and galleries remodeled from traditional hanok, which have become popular spots for both domestic and international tourists. However, the efforts of the residents to preserve tradition continue. Since even a single tile or wooden door carries decades of history, Bukchon can be described not just as a tourist destination, but as a living history book. Now, shall we take a slow walk through this alley together? On this path that follows the stone wall, I hope you can directly feel how the past and present coexist. I just came out of the Jaedong alley and am passing by the modern office building. There are several restaurants in Jaedong alley, including the canned dumplings featured on the Wednesday Food Talk show, which has a neighbor rating of over 4 stars, as well as Korean restaurants like Deungshin, Shabu Kalguksu at Anguk Station, and Daram Noodles. On the exit side, there are cafes where you can enjoy coffee and pastries, such as Amor Napoli Anguk and Pruta Coffee Anguk. On the right side, the headquarters of Hyundai Construction and the Hyundai Engineering Building occupy. A site that was once a traditional residential area with a large hanok and garden, but has been replaced by modern buildings due to industrialization and urban development. However, right next to it, there are well-preserved examples of hanok, such as the Bukchon Cultural Center. Amidst the modern buildings, cafes, galleries, and shops based on hanok showcase the now of Bukchon. I will cover the Bukchon Cultural Center in detail in the next video. So, this area serves as a prologue to the Bukchon tour. In the heart of Seoul, as I look at this landscape where modernity and the past stand side by side, I find myself anticipating the story of Bukchon that we are about to walk into. I am currently walking along Changdeokgung Palace Wonnseodong. Over this hill, I can see the majestic view of the palace beyond the walls of Changdeokgung Palace, which is the first scenic spot of Bukchon. Behind the path I'm walking now, there are popular places to eat like Salt House, Delhi Anguk and London Bagel Museum Anguk branch, and in front, there are restaurants such as Wheat and Barley, Stone Wall House, and Bukchon Samcheong-dong. Now, let's walk to the Changdeokgung Palace wall path. The walls of Changdeokgung Palace are starting to come into view. Standing here, the high stone walls of Changdeokgung Palace greet us. This wall marks the boundary of Changdeokgung Palace and holds many stories within the hundreds of years of Korean history. Registered as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Changdeokgung Palace is famous for its beautiful architecture that perfectly harmonizes with the surrounding nature, and among its features, the Secret Garden, or Hawan, is like a fairy tale in itself. From the second floor of the building, looking over the wall at Changdeokgung Palace, you will feel as if you are living in the Joseon dynasty. Since it is still early and there are fewer tourists compared to Bukchon 5, 6, and 7 views, it is a place where you can leisurely explore the Hanoks of Bukchon. Let's appreciate the wall of Changdeokgung Palace and the Hanok next to it. I am currently walking in the direction of the red arrow on the map. Now we walk towards Wonnseodong, leaving behind the grandeur of the palace and moving into a more cozy and traditional space. Wonnseodong is a tranquil residential area, featuring narrow alleys that offer a glimpse of old Seoul. This place, lined with traditional hanoks, allows visitors to fully experience the serene charm of Seoul. In particular, Wonnseodong was a luxurious residential area where royal officials and high-ranking bureaucrats lived. And even today, beautiful hanoks are well-preserved. Most hanoks retain traditional architectural styles such as overlapping eaves, wooden windows, and tiled roofs, while some have been reborn as modern hanok cafes, galleries, and workshops. The forest of the rear garden, visible beyond the walls of Changdeokgung Palace, along with the changing scenery of the trees with each season, completes the unique quiet and serene atmosphere of this place. The building on the right side is the Royal Cuisine Cultural Foundation, established to preserve and inherit the traditional royal court food culture of Korea. Founded in 1971, it conducts education and research on the transmission of royal cuisine. We offer various classes, including seasonal royal cuisine, special lectures and customized Korean cuisine expert courses, as well as cultural experience programs for foreigners. The building on the right is the Gahoe-dong House. It is a traditional hanok located in Wonnseodong, Gyeonggi-gu, Seoul, and is the birthplace of Gahoe-dong, Korea's first Western-style painter. This house is designated as Seoul's Intangible Cultural Heritage number 26 and well preserves the traditional structure of a Yangban house from the late Joseon period. It features a sarongchai, an anki, and a Gahoe-dong, providing a space where one can appreciate the beauty of traditional wooden architecture. Gahoe-dong learned Western painting techniques through studying in Japan and played a significant role in modernizing Korean art. This house also holds great historical significance as a place that honors his life and artistic world. Currently, this house is protected as a cultural heritage and is sometimes open to the public for a limited time or by reservation. I will make sure to visit this place next time. Let's move over the hill to Central High School in Jaedong-gil. On the right side is Joongang High School. It is also famous as a filming location for the dramas Winter Sonata, Goblin, and the movie Architecture 101. Established in 1908 by the Gahoe-dong, it is a national private school with a long history, closely tied to modern Korean history. It played an important role as a center for independence movements, particularly during the March 1st movement and the June 10th movement. The road below is Gahoe-dong Road. Gahoe-dong Road is also a place with many beautiful hanoks and cafes, which I will cover in the next video. The hanok visible in front is the Hankyung-Hyeon Cafe, where you can enjoy a leisurely terrace of a serene hanok. It is a truly magnificent hanok on the hill. I have also filmed the cafe a few times while passing by this road. Now, let's move towards the Bukchon 3 Scenic Views area on Bukchon Hanok-Gil. At Bukchon 3 Scenic Views, you can appreciate the interior of traditional hanok houses and beyond the tiled walls. you can see the scenery of Gahoe-dong along with various Hanok buildings. It is a place where you can experience the authentic Bukchon culture, alive with simplicity and tradition. And see the appearance of Hanoks lined up next to the long wall. In this area, there are workshops focused on traditional culture, such as the Embroidery Museum, the Gahoe Museum, and knot-making workshops. This place is the Bukchon Hanok Center, a public Hanok. Here, exhibitions are held, and you can see the scenery of Bukchon at a glance from the yard. Since this video is focused on walking through Bukchon, I will reveal a detailed video of the Bukchon Hanok School in the next episode. Now, let's take a proper walk through the beautiful alleyways of Hanok. Oh, by the way, please remember that there are actually residents living here, so we need to be quiet. This is a traditional craft workshop for color thread pattern quilting, located in Gahoe-dong, Bukchon, Seoul. This is a space where traditional quilting techniques and colorful embroidery patterns are combined to create craft works. The garden is beautifully maintained with flowers. Here, not only are modern interpretations of Korea's unique aesthetic produced through quilting crafts, experience programs are also offered for ordinary citizens and foreigners, making it one of the notable spots for cultural experiences in Bukchon. Personally, I would recommend the current Bukchon 3-jong, which is quieter and allows for a better experience of traditional Hanok, rather than the more touristy Bukchon 4-7.
안녕하세요. 좋은 날입니다. 안녕하세요. 촬영하시는 거 좋아하시면 저희 지하 매장도 어마어마하게 잘 돼 있습니다.
아, 예.
From now on, we will take a closer look at Bukchon 5, 6, and 7, located on Bukchon Ro-11-gil, which is popular among foreign tourists. At the entrance, there are nature public, souvenir shops, and hanbok rental services. It seems that watching the videos here would make it easier to understand Bukchon than just reading the explanations. Bukchon is one of the most searched destinations for foreign tourists visiting Seoul, second only to Gyeongbokgung Palace. Usually, when one thinks of Bukchon, they imagine the appearance of this place. Since it is also a living space for residents, visitors should walk quietly along the streets. The azaleas have bloomed so beautifully. If you enter the left alley, you will find the Bukchon Urban Regeneration Support Center, a public hanok in Gahoe-dong. I will cover this place in the next video as well. This hanok, with its tidy yard and beautiful lattice windows, is an open space for citizens, where various programs such as traditional etiquette experiences and craft classes are held. It is a place that shows Bukchon is not just a simple tourist spot, but a living cultural space. From now on, I will walk through the 5 scenic spots of Bukchon. The 5 scenic spots of Bukchon are the hanoks and alley views seen while walking up the alleyways of Gahoe-dong from below to above. It seems that there are relatively few tourists today, perhaps because it's still early. From now on, this is Bukchon 6 views, looking down from above the alleyways of Gahoe-dong. Isn't this the place that comes to mind most when thinking of Seoul? You can see Namsan Tower beyond the alleyways and traditional Hanok houses. Now, let's head towards the hill where we can see the view of Samcheong-dong, one of the 8 scenic spots of Bukchon. The mountain in front is Bukchon, and the left side is Wonnseodong. The blue house is visible on the lower side of Wonnseodong mountain, with Gyeongbokgung Palace to the left beyond it. The view of the Blue House and Samcheong-dong, overlooked by Wonnseodong and Bukchon, is beautiful. The Bukchon Hanok Village, which feels like time has stopped between Gyeongbokgung Palace and Changdeokgung Palace, is not just a museum frozen in time, but a living space where residents actually live. Today, I walked from the 1st to the 8th scenic spot in Bukchon, taking a look at only a part of its exterior. In the next video, I plan to explore areas that haven't been covered, such as Gyeolgak-ro3-gil, Yun, Wonnseodong-gil, and Gahoe-dong-gil. I will also take a look at the public hanoks managed by the city of Seoul. In particular, I recommend visiting places like the Bukchon Cultural Center, Hanok-chung, and the Baek-in-ja House, not only for foreign tourists but also for Koreans. Walking through Bukchon, I realized that hanoks are not just a form of housing from the past, but an emotional refuge that flows in the DNA of Koreans. As K-content spreads globally, I strongly felt that foreign tourists can come to Korea to experience life and learn about traditions, which is another aspect of K-culture. So, I will conclude the first part of my walk through Bukchon Hanok Village, accompanied by Korea's traditional hanoks, while enjoying the warm sunlight of spring. Thank you for your support with likes and subscriptions, so that we can continue to bring you good videos in the future. This has been Walking Korea. See you next time.